In this video, I'm going to show you how to calculate percent composition from the formula. So if we know the formula of the compound that we're dealing with, assume you have 1 mole. Then you know the mass of the elements and the whole compound. These values just come off the periodic table. This is a skill that we've been practicing throughout this chapter. So let me show you an example question. Calculate the percent composition of C2H4. So C2H4 is made up of 2 carbons, which both weigh 12, and 4 hydrogens, which all weigh 1. So 12 plus 12 is 24. I have 24 grams of carbon. If I have 24 grams of carbon plus 4 hydrogens, and each hydrogen weighs 1, that means I have 28 grams total. So 24 grams of carbon divided by 28 grams total times 100 is 85.7% carbon. So we need to do the same thing for hydrogen. So hydrogen weighs 4 in this compound because I have 4 of them, 4 grams of hydrogen. The total is still the same, 28 grams total. Multiply that by 100, 4 divided by 28 times 100 is 14.3. And if we double check in our calculator to make sure, these answers both add up to be 100%, which means we're correct. So let me show you one other way that they can make a problem like this more difficult. Calculate the percent composition of aluminum and aluminum carbonate. Okay, so we only need to solve for aluminum here, but this problem is harder because they didn't give us the formula, they gave us the name. But if you remember your chapter 9 skills, you should be able to go from the name of a formula to the symbols of a formula. So hopefully you recognize this as ionic. Aluminum is a metal, carbonate's a nonmetal. That means I need to do the symbols and the charges and possibly crisscrossing. So let's do it. Aluminum is in group 13, so that means it has a 3+ charge. Carbonate is a polyatomic ion. The 8 ending gives it away. You should go to table E and find carbonate, and you'll see that it is CO3 with a 2- charge. Now a 3+ does not balance out a 2-, so we need to crisscross these charges. These numbers will cross. So my final formula will be Al2CO3 in parentheses and then a 3. All right, now we need to find the masses. So aluminum weighs 27, but I have 2 of them. Carbon weighs 12, but I have 3 of them. And oxygen weighs 16, and I have 9 of them. So if I add all that up, I'll get 234 grams per mole of aluminum carbonate. Now I want to find the percent composition of aluminum in this compound. So I found the whole thing weighs 234 grams. Now I want to find just aluminum, so that would be the 27 times 2 here. So the formula for the percent composition is part over whole. So the part that I'm looking for is aluminum. That's 27 times 2, or 54 grams of aluminum. I want to divide that by the whole mass, which we just found, to be 234 grams. So 54 grams divided by 234 grams times 100 is 23.1% aluminum. So it's the same 4 steps as the previous video. We're going to find the mass of each component. So in our last example, just one of the elements, if that's all they're asking you for. And you do that just by looking it up on the periodic table. Then you divide by the total mass of the compound. That's something that you would have to calculate each of the elements and looking them up on the periodic table. Multiply your answer by 100 to get your percent. And if you're doing every element in the compound, you can double check to make sure your percents are equal to 100%.